The app I've created in Cyferd is a Cyferd notes application, such as sticky notes, for example. That's where I took the inspiration from it. So
Uh-huh.
it's like a simple utility application that's simple to use, easy to understand. Everyone can use it, and it has a really helpful, beneficial purpose to it. The reason I wanted to create a type of app like this one, a notes application in Cyferd, is because it's a good way to show the potential of Cyferd. It doesn't have to be just super complex apps about such as invoicing or something really complex. It can be something
Mm-hmm.
simple, such as a notes application, something simple that everyone can use on not just computers but on different platforms as well, since Cyferd offers
Mm-hmm.
different platforms. So the way this note app works is it's as simple as it can be, really. It's a notes application that you just enter your note here with
Uh-huh.
you can choose a font, you can choose the how it looks, and to choose a note color that's assigned to it. So for example, if I choose a green note here and just type in and you save it, it'll simply refresh in the front and update the count and show the note here. So
Uh-huh.
it's a really beneficial note that will it's anyone can use it. So as is this is the primarily I've made this app to be a phone application. So if I just change the view here so that it's about the aspect ratio of a phone, you can see it's a very simple layout. It simply consists of one button and the notes you've created and a search bar.
Uh-huh.
So you can allow to filter everything that's ciphered. It will come up with the notes that I've made that use the word ciphered in. So it's a very simple app, easy concept, easy to understand, and really helpful because everyone uses sticky notes. It's an app that
Mm-hmm.
everyone has on
Yeah.
their phone. Any sort of notes application.
From what I'm
Yeah.
understanding, you can build
Hmm.
applications specifically for mobiles as well through Cyferd. That's
Yes.
something I had no idea about. I thought you could just
Yeah.
build applications and then they could be put onto your phone, but I had no idea that they
Hmm.
could be formatted to your phone as well.
Yes.
Yeah, like you said, this is user friendly. So, how long
Hmm.
did it take you to build this?
This particular application didn't take too long as this application because when it comes to data in Cyfred, it's all about housing data within data collections and fields.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
as this application is really just entering a node, it only used one data collection and one field. So
Uh-huh.
getting the main functionality of the application did not take too long at all, like maybe like 1 or 2 days maybe. Enhancements made to the application, those like took a bit more time, so the more technical stuff. So for example, having this note counter automatically update or having just the front end update whenever an action's happening. So for example, if I delete this note, it'll remove it and update the count. So these technical
Mm-hmm.
enhancements like these did like require a bit more looking into, but overall the application like creating the application wasn't too difficult, seeing as the actual application is a very easy to use application, easy concept,
Mm-hmm.
and it's something that really shouldn't take too long, seeing as the functionality doesn't require too much.
Before we dive into the details, can you
Mm.
tell me about your overall experience in just building this app? So I'm particularly interested in understanding of how the
Mm.
process unfolded and how
Mm.
easy it was for Cypher to just provide you this platform to build the app.
Yeah. Overall, my experience is I quite enjoyed developing the app because Cyferd, like when creating an application in Cyferd, everything is really user friendly. It's easy to understand where it is you need to go whenever you're doing a particular thing on an app. So, for example, making a data collection, there's an entire section for data collections to just create a new one, and the fields they're so like visible to the user. So overall, it
Mm-hmm.
was really overall I did enjoy creating an application. It was a fun experience. It got me myself personally gave me the chance to explore Cypher even more, seeing as that
Mm-hmm.
the platform is constantly updating with new and new things when it comes to functionality, when it comes to how the front end of the actual app builder looks. It gave me a chance to experience all the new updates they made and what new functionality they've added that could actually help me in my app. So overall process really enjoyable, easy to use, easy to understand, and if it comes to making a newer app in the future that's got more functionality than this one, you'd find yourself very familiar with it just based off creating an app
Uh-huh.
like this.
You have an IT background. How would you say
Yes.
someone like me with no IT
Hmm.
experience, how would I find creating the app on Cyferd?
I'm sure for someone that does not have much of an IT background, they wouldn't struggle too much with creating an application in Cyferd because everything is so user friendly and it essentially walks you through what it is you need to do. You'll be you'll be just fine. It's really easy to
Mhm.
understand. Even with an IT background, without an IT background, anyone that has access to the platform, they'd be able to make an application with not too much difficulty. Just simple training would just be required, of course, but
Mhm.
course actually, but then the training is of course really easy to understand and it's really easy to
Yeah.
apply that training
Mhm.
as well. So those are the perks of being able to develop an application on Cypher. It's user friendly, anyone can get into it and anyone become a modeler, data modeler or developer in no time at
Mhm.
all.
That's interesting, actually. So it just
Hmm.
sounds very user friendly and time
Yeah.
saving, and yeah, no
Hmm.
experience
Yes.
required whatsoever. Can you share your initial thoughts about using Cypher for this project? Were there any specific features or aspects that you found particularly helpful?
When I initially started creating this application, the first thing that stood out to me was the user friendliness of the platform. It
Uh-huh.
was the fact that everything was so laid out for the user that they could see everything so clearly about what it is they need to do. So when making an application with like another platform or something that's heavily reliant on coding, it can be overwhelming to a user or just a new graduate when it comes to with them who have an
Mhm.
IT background. So anyone that's like a trainee or a junior, they might be overwhelmed with such platforms that heavily rely on coding and such. But with Cypher, as it's a low code slash no code platform when it comes to creating applications and developing, it's something that you can easily get to grips with quick. And I think that's
Mhm.
the really like that's the good like essence of Cypher is to make sure that applications can be made in such a simple manner. That was the one thing that really stood out to me the most was how easy it was to wrap my head around.
And yeah, the whole thing is just user friendly. So I think Cypher
Yes,
goes with the user friendly approach as well when it
yes,
comes to building
yes.
their platform and things like that.
I've noticed a lot of graphical elements that are on the builder are really easy to use. So for example, here I have a group called notes and two entries, no color and no entry. So simply changing the order of it, just simple drag and drop. It's really
Mhm.
super easy. Or like when it comes to making calculated fields. Everything that you need here is all on the side. You can search for anything you need, such as concatenating strings, such as again different things to manipulate text, numbers, lists, data, anything. It's all here for you, and even comes with descriptions to actually show what each thing does. So it's easy to understand, it's easy to apply, and it'll let you know if it's something you do need in your application. So, for example, with this one that I have right now, I had to create something that removed HTML tags that were automatically appearing. So of course,
Mhm.
like I just simply looked through this list and I found this replace regex here, which simply replaces all the things that I don't need with something else that I would need. So it's all
Uh-huh.
like simply, it's all, told to you here, easy to apply, and it's how I was able to figure out that's what I need in my application, and it turns out it worked. And
Yeah.
that's essentially how Cypher operates. Everything's explained to you, everything's in your face there, and it's really not difficult to get to grips with Cypher.
So would you say the AI element definitely helped just by how
Hmm.
smart the platform is and how understanding it is towards your
Yes,
needs?
definitely.
Okay, and how about customization? So like you said, you can drag and drop it anywhere. Could you
Hmm.
tailor the app to match your vision in a way? Could you everything that you wanted
Yes,
to set out to achieve with this app, did you
yeah,
manage to do it?
yeah. So with Cypher, it's not just, of course, data collections, data and everything like that. It also allows you to customize your own custom layouts for the application you're making. So you can
Uh-huh.
so it gives you the experience to choose exactly how you'd want an application to look, how you'd want it to be laid out. So this layout builder, easy to use. It just simply consists of layouts and being able to add any component you want, really, whether it's buttons, lists, cards, forms, KPIs, anything. There's a lot to choose from. So having layouts that you can structure in any way you want, it allows for you to really, translate your view of the application into something that can actually be achievable. So, for example, here, my view here was to create a notes application that had a counter, search, and a box which showed all your notes in. So, using the Cyferd
Mhm.
layout builder, I was able to do that quite effortlessly, really. It did not take too much, didn't really take too much knowledge or thinking at all for this. Like, it's really easy. All it requires is just a layout, and then you add your component in, structure it how you want, and there you go. There's your front end view right there.
Mhm. So was this layout suggested to you after you asked for the Notes app to be built, or are these layouts just set for all the apps that are there and you go
Yeah,
on from
so
there?
yeah, but so these layouts is whenever you create an application, you create a view separately with it. So this view is
Okay.
what grants you access to the layout. And then once you create the layout, you link it back to the application you just made so that it displays as the home page. So having this yeah, so it's really you create like a view alongside your application if you want to create a new home page. And then from there you can just choose whatever it is you
Yeah.
want to do, how you want to lay it out. Yeah.
Oh wow, I think yeah, it just sounds very easy. I think you're actually convincing
Hmm.
me to go out and build an app.
Yeah.
So, what was your overall impression about Cypher? For this is just the last question. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just wrapping it up,
Mm.
your overall impression, and yeah, how did it contribute to the successful development, and yeah, things like that.
Yeah. Overall impression of Cyferd is, I mean, there's really not much to say. There's not much to fault. Sorry. It's it's easy to use. It's a platform that has a lot of potential, and you can create so many different there's so many opportunities with this platform, I'd say. There's so many types of apps you can make. There's like
Mm-hmm.
you're not limited. There's no limitations. Like really the sky is the limit
Mm-hmm.
with Cypher. That's what I really like about Cypher is how there's no limit essentially. You can create any type of application you want. You can make it look however you want. You can add whatever type of fields you want, and it will be something that is beneficial towards a user or anyone,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's just an app for yourself, such as a notes application for yourself. It's simple to
Mm-hmm.
make and it's really helpful. It'll help you more ways than you know. So
Yeah.
overall, and in
Mm-hmm.
terms of development and modeler training and such, it's really not again, like as I said, it's not difficult. It's easy. You can get familiar with it within a day. It's really simple, and anyone that's interested in application building or the data modeling, this would be, I'd say, this is the platform to use. It's the best way to get
Mm-hmm.
started and to remain with because of how much it's updating. You'll be constantly in the loop, so you'll be able to know what's changed. You'll be able to know,
Mm-hmm.
can these changes positively affect my applications? And if so, how to apply them. It's really user friendly and it can help newer people that are getting into developing and modeler training.
Yeah, and I think even for a business, as and when a need arises, I think just
Mm.
integrating Cypher and building an app for that purpose
Mm.
is very quick. So
Yes,
yeah,
of
I think it
course.
helps in a lot of aspects when it comes to that as well, I think.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Subscribe for more Smarter BI content or contact us at info@differentia.consulting so we can tailor Smarter BI solutions to your specific requirements. Thanks for watching and stay smart.